Hello, my name's Alex, and I'm a third year advertising student from UAL LCC. And thank you for having me here to talk about my dissertation. So, when we started talking about our dissertations, I knew that I wanted to investigate social media advertising, namely targeting and behavioral advertising. And this was because of my interest in the theory of surveillance capitalism, which was introduced to me in my second year, written by American author Shoshana Zuboff. Surveillance capitalism can probably be defined as the claiming of human experiences, i.e., data, translating that into behavioral insights to know how any given person might react or behave. This is then packaged as a prediction product, which is usually sold to the highest bidder. And Shoshana Zuboff basically argues that it's going to be the end of democracy and autonomy. But my literature review focused on the origins of data collection, how it became monetized, and how it's used today in a social media context. What you'll find is that the objectives of these companies, namely Facebook and Google, quickly became that of creating better prediction products to offer to their main customers, being advertisers. The thing that I found interesting was this has consequently meant that newsfeed algorithms have also evolved to have advertisers in mind in the same way. For Facebook now, the best way to predict behavior is to shape it. Behavioral manipulation at a emotional level for the sake of increasing effectiveness of online behavioral advertising has led to some backlash, with documented increases in depression and anxiety in young adults and teenagers. I think that conversations around big data, machine learning, and social media companies are already starting to be had in the mainstream for political reasons and otherwise. Just looking at Netflix's documentaries, The Social Dilemma and The Great Hack. So, in my primary research, I conducted 5 in-depth interviews with participants aged 21 to 25 to investigate the links between knowledge and awareness of these subjects and their subsequent usage of social media. I then went through the transcripts using IPA analysis to gauge and understand the meanings behind their answers. So, firstly, what I found is that all my participants showed understanding and strong feeling towards the addictive traits that social media fosters, and therefore think about protecting themselves from it in their day to day lives already. With what data being collected and how that data is being implemented into advertising still remains a mystery to them. Secondly, strong links of mistrust between user and the platform were associated with a lack of transparency regarding the algorithms. And most importantly, over half of my participants had limited their social media usage due to what they described as feeling negative emotions brought on by the platforms and have been doing so for over a year. They felt very strongly about the way in which the posts they see are there to create emotional reactants, and some had deleted accounts altogether for fear that their mental health was being affected. So, overall, it seems like the information isn't there for people yet, but there's an argument to be made that if awareness or perception of the very nature of news feeds as a behavioral modifier becomes resonant for 18 to 34-year-olds, it could lose some of its viability for advertisers who especially seek trust and transparency with their audiences.